Hey everybody, guess what? It's day 92. Like I can't even believe it. What am I gonna do with all this time when all these videos are done? Oh my God. So day 92 is, I'm gonna say it, you ready? Gold! It's amazing. It's awesome. I swear, this author, he has left all the best for the end. It's like grand finale week for me. I mean, every night that I read this, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go live. I gotta go live. So day 92 is so amazing, and it's going to speak to so many people. At least I hope. That's my prayer. I pray that this is going to speak to you. If you are suffering in any way with a problem that is bigger than you, that you just can't figure out how to step out of, I pray that this is the one that you needed to hear. So day 92 is titled Try to Become the Problem. Okay? Try becoming the problem. That's exactly what it's called. So I'm just taking you through my notes. So he starts off by saying, for whatever type of limiting problem it is that you are facing, there is a sentence, a phrase that you're going to learn today in this video, that if you repeat it and you believe it, you will receive the most self-motivation beyond any other means possible in this life. But this sentence is only for those who are strong and willing and able and interested in change. Because if you're weak and you are stuck, you're not ready for this. But if you're ready for change, then this is the video you need to hear. These are the words you need to hear. So this is the phrase that he's teaching us on day 92. You ready for it? Repeat after me. I am the problem. So whatever it is that you're going through, I want you to think about that situation. If you're dealing with a situation with a really cruddy boss, I know. If you're dealing with a situation where you're overweight, or you're depressed, or you have a lot of anxiety, or maybe you're having a bad spell in your marriage, I want you to think about everything I'm going to share with you today from the perspective of that problem and apply what we're learning on day 92 to your situation. So once you see yourself as the problem, you can see yourself as the solution. And that gives you, I'm not even kidding you, that's power. That is where most of us don't realize the power we possess, but I digress because I need to focus. In most situations, our mentalities, our visions, our expectations, all of it, they all form the biggest obstacles to our own success. And I promise I'm going to explain. When we see ourselves as the victim of our circumstance, we lose the power to solve our own problems. We shut down our creativity when we see the source of our trouble as being outside of us. But when we say, I'm the problem, and we own it, there is great power that shifts from being on the outside of the problem to being on the inside. And this is where the magic is. Because this is when we've lifted the earthly curse, or the earthly veil, if you will, and we begin to now become the solution. Our society thinks the opposite of I am the problem. Everything in our society always, points back to somebody else. It's never us, never. Time magazine, I don't know what year this was, ran a cover story where they titled it as this: we are a nation of finger pointers. We've become a nation of victims who sees the American dream not as striving and fulfilled, but as an unachieved sense of entitlement. In the book, I love this book, by the way. I totally recommend not only the book that I'm referring to, 100 Ways to Motivate, but the book we're talking about at this particular second. I'm about to quote from it. It's called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. I read this in high school, and it's amazing. It's by Nathaniel Branden. In this book, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, the author of that book is quoted as saying, to feel competent, to live a life worthy of happiness, you need to have a sense of control over your entire existence. And this requires that we be willing to take responsibility for our actions and the attainment of our goals. And this means that when I take responsibility for my own life and my own well-being, then I can step into the life that I was meant to live. Because when we're in a state of not feeling like we don't have control, that's where depression comes. Depression is when we feel like we don't have control of our circumstances, like we're a victim. That's the exact definition. The women that I coach, I teach them this. And whatever it is that is depressing you, it's usually stemming from a situation where you feel like something has been imposed on you. When we get into the habit of blaming a circumstance or a person as for why X problem, we avoid the basic truth. We avoid that we're the problem. The reason I fought so hard to avoid the truth, this is the author talking, was because I never realized that the truth contained good news. I always saw it as shameful and negative. But once I discovered that accepting responsibility for the problem also gave me the power that I needed to solve it. And when I discovered that, I became free. That's how he closed the chapter. You guys, that's powerful. I'm sorry, but go back and listen to this, because you need to accept ownership for anything that is going on in your life. You can't expect to be a victor in this life if you're living in the state of a victim mentality. The Bible even tells us that we'll have problems, that we'll have troubles in this earth. So we need to expect it. We need to know that where there are problems and troubles, those are our lessons. What did you learn? What amazing lesson did you learn from awesome stuff? Nothing. Think about it. Think about what you learn every day by going to work and working hard and earning everything you have versus showing up and being wealthy. What do you learn? You don't learn anything. So your problems are there to be your lessons. That's the classroom of life. Because in life, we need to realize that we need to overcome. You're not a victim of your circumstance. You're a product of your decisions. The decisions, the thoughts, the choices, all of those things got you here to where you are today. Now leave them here. Own the I am the problem philosophy like a grown-up, because your old thinking got you here, and it will keep you here until you try something new. Your old thinking got you here, so new thinking will get you out of here. Change your mind today and start to really step into the greatness that you were destined for. Because at the end of the day, when you live in the state of being a victim, you're owning that victimhood and you're allowing somebody else to dictate your future. You can either be bitter or you can get better. And it's only the difference in a decision. And that decision is in recognizing your role, your ability to own the outcome, but to stepping up and being brave enough to just say, you know what, I'm the problem here. Like for me, I worked in corporate America and I was making a killing. I had an amazing salary. I had all the things. And I also had depression, significant depression, because I felt unfulfilled and I felt like I couldn't control my daily living. I couldn't control anything in my life. And it was because I was the victim. Poor me, I had a really crappy boss. She was evil. She was just mean. And I think she was mean because she could see that I was not performing optimally. And I wasn't performing optimally because I was unhappy. I was allowing these things to happen to me because I didn't care at all. I didn't care about the solution. I didn't care to dig deep enough to see what the problem was, or that I had a problem, or that I could have a solution. Instead, I just kept living in the state of being a victim and blaming her for it. And then one day I woke up and realized, holy crap, this really crappy situation of me being a victim is here right now to teach me a lesson. And that lesson was that, you know what, I'm not meant to do this. If I was meant to do this, it'd be easy and I would enjoy it. And then I was like, oh crap, I make a lot of money. What am I going to do? And then I'm like, you know what, that's an earthly problem. If I know what I'm meant to do, and that's when I started doing the work to figure out what I'm meant to do, the money will come. And so I did. I left corporate America. Didn't have any net or anything. I just leapt. I mean, sure, I have a husband. It's easy for me to say these things. But I leapt, and you guys, the net is appearing. It is appearing. I took the blind faith step of believing that my destiny was out there. I just had to stop being a victim of my circumstances and start being a victor in the walk that was intended for me. All I know is if I can do this by owning the problem, you can do it too. So there you go. I will see y'all on day 93. I can't even believe it. Have a good day. Bye.